Hello, everyone. I'm AT Storm Track meteorologist Austin Haskins. Well, we were watching that band of precipitation inch its way north throughout the morning on our Tuesday, and eventually it made it into the Eau Claire and Menominee areas right around that 8 to 9 a.m. time frame and lasted for a couple of hours. And the air became cold enough to where it quickly changed over to snow, and we ended up getting 7/10 of an inch here in Eau Claire. Now, there may be a couple of spots within the city that got maybe slightly less or closer to that 1 inch mark, but here at 18 Storm Track, we co-op with the Weather Service in Minneapolis for the city's snowfall for climate data. So we ended up with 7/10 of an inch yesterday. Now, for the month of November and for the winter so far, we are a little bit below average. But of course, keep in mind, it's mid-November. We're just getting started. But the snowfall we got yesterday was the first measurable snowfall of the year. The average first date, when you look at all of the climate data since 1893, the average first date for measurable snow is November 8th. So we're about 10 days past that. The latest ever was January 1st of 1914. So that would be the winter of 1913 going into 1914. The earliest was October 4th of 2014. Now, measurable snow is defined as snow 1/10 of an inch or greater. Now, last winter, we had our first measurable snow on November 20th. So we're 2 days earlier this year compared to last year. But when you look back at the past 10 years, so since 2015, of those 10, 7 of them have seen the first measurable snowfall earlier than average. And of course, if you recall, in 2023, we had our first measurable snow on Halloween. So that would be one of the years where it was a little bit earlier than the average. Now, all of the extra moisture around, of course, the air was really dry before the precip moved in, but the increase in moisture, and for those that did see snow, the melting has led to foggy conditions this morning. We have a dense fog advisory in place for the areas there in gray. Now, as of this recording, just after 7 a.m., the advisory does go till 8 a.m. for Clark and Taylor counties, 9 a.m. for the rest of the area. The one thing to mention, though, too, is temperatures have been below freezing all morning long, and in some cases, we see temperatures as low as the upper teens to the east. So watch out for slick spots, any icy spots that develop on any untreated or elevated surfaces here this morning. And temperatures are expected to remain below freezing until we get to about that mid-morning time frame. Then we'll go back above freezing and things should begin to improve. And along with that, visibility should improve as well. Unfortunately, though, we're not going to see any sunshine today. It is going to be cloudy all day long, and that'll continue even into tonight as well. We could deal with some areas of fog once again, and even a little bit of some areas of drizzle and sprinkles and mist as well. Nothing too heavy or widespread, but certainly kind of a damp night, if you will. And also even tomorrow morning, you still could have some of that drizzle around. And by about midday, things should begin to improve in that department. And maybe by the end of the day, if you are northwest of the Chippewa River, you might see some sunshine. It's not a guarantee. Some data has a little more clearing than what is showing here, but we will eventually clear things out a little bit Thursday night, leading to a beautiful day on our Friday with a lot of sunshine. But again, could deal with some patchy fog in the morning. So we have just a 20% chance to account for those areas of drizzle and fog and mist tonight. And then after that, we are dry again until about Tuesday of next week. We could see our next chance for some rain in the area. Highs today across western Wisconsin, upper 30s and low 40s, which is close to average this time of the year. Thankfully, the winds will be light, but it might feel a little bit cooler just because of kind of the dampness in the atmosphere. And then tonight, we're only falling back to the mid to upper 30s, but there's a chance we could see some locations see their temperatures maybe inch up a little bit overnight. And then we're in the 40s to a few low 50s tomorrow. So it's going to be a milder day, despite the fact we are going to see a lot of cloud cover. A southwesterly wind's going to help with that. And then on Friday, a weaker wind develops out of the west and northwest as a weak front comes through, and will cool down slightly to about those mid to upper 40s. But with sunny skies, it's going to be a pretty nice day. Of course, the Wisconsin deer hunting opener is this weekend. Now, if you're not partaking in this, the forecast is pretty good. But for those hunting, temperatures will be in the 20s Saturday morning, around 30 Sunday morning. Will be in the upper 40s and low 50s in the afternoon. So It's maybe not the most ideal of conditions, and certainly since the fact we don't have any snow on the ground either. So that's kind of how the forecast is shaping up for that. But looking ahead at the rest of the extended forecast, we're still going to be in the low 50s on Monday, upper 40s with that small rain chance on Tuesday of next week. But of course, we are watching a little bit past that because the longer range data is suggesting that we're going to potentially see a stretch of some colder air move in towards the second half of next week and into next weekend, and even into the beginning of December. Now, looking at the upper level pattern, we've been in kind of a westerly flow and will be here through the weekend, so that'll bring in those milder conditions. But eventually, as you'll notice here by Wednesday and into Thanksgiving Day, a dip in the jet stream is going to develop, and what that's going to do is bring in some colder air. Now, how cold it gets does remain to at least be seen, but some of the data this morning is suggesting highs in the 20s and 30s, which would be a little bit below average. And of course, we'll also watch chances for precipitation as well. If we have any of that, that could impact the Thanksgiving travel. So still some watching towards the second half of next week a little bit, so stay with us for updates on that.